Welcome back, everybody, to Season 2 of Groundwork, the CKU Podcast. I'm your host, Victor Devora. I'm joined today by the one and only Juan Maldonado.
Yes, sir. Welcome back.
Welcome
Season 2.
back, yes. Some of you may notice we are in a new studio. What do you think, Juan?
I love it, man. I love what you've done with the place.
Yeah?
As you know, you guys are taking full advantage. So next week, I think players are welcome to come take pictures here with another backdrop. So I love the new setup, the new studio.
What do you think about the chairs?
Love the chairs. I love the Greater Salina Community Foundation. Tell the people about that one. Please.
So the Greater Salina Community Foundation Cups, these were actually a gift from the Greater Salina Community Foundation because we signed an agreement with them. We are now a fully funded account with them. So what this means is now members of the community can actually participate in Match Madness and helping support our mission.
When is that? Make sure that.
Match Madness. For those that don't know, it's an event that's ran here in Salina. I believe it's the second or third week in March. And what the goal of it is the Greater Salina Community Foundation will match dollar for dollar to all donations made to our foundation that day. We will give details when we have details coming, but it's going to be a fun event. I think you're going to help me work it, right?
All day.
We're going to have a few other members of the board going to be there, so we're going to have a few goodies that we'll give away. And truly, it's a great way for us to get out there and give our mission to the people who don't know what we do.
Yeah, and most importantly, I think this money is going to the scholarship fund that we've been desperately needing just because we got away from that. And so we set a goal about a year or two ago to get involved with the Greater Salina Community Foundation. Now that we're officially involved, it feels great, and more opportunities coming for our athletes here.
And not only does this open up more opportunities for just our youth athletes, but I'm thinking about our collegiate athletes.
Oh, yeah.
I know we've sponsored a handful of kids on the collegiate level because, again, our mission is not to deny kids the opportunity to play soccer, but to break that barrier, right? The financial barrier. You coming from California, you know very well what that barrier is.
Oh, yeah.
And truly, that's the mission here. And if we can even help a collegiate kid, that's what this scholarship fund is going to start being designed to be. Not only helping the youth, but helping the collegiate side.
Yep. Well, shoot, talking about great opportunities, let's get right into it. What are we doing
going
today?
Well, Juan, I brought you in for a couple of reasons. One, I just want to see how you're doing.
Great, actually. I mean, this year's been full of highs and lows, but as far as CKU goes, I mean, we're on the rise, so I'm happy. I'm happy with everybody that's been involved, the community just supporting us 100%. And so I feel great in that sense. And yeah, I'm happy with my kids, my wife, family's healthy, so
that's awesome.
I feel great.
That's the big thing, you know. I know this podcast is solely centralized around CKU and what's going on, but I want everyone to remind us that us coaches, us members of the organization, we're people too, and we need to make sure we're checking in on each other. So I'm happy to hear that all that is going well for you. But there's another reason why I brought you on this show to kick off, not only because you were my first guest, so I felt like it was only appropriate to invite you back. What are you guys working on?
One big thing that's coming up soon is are we going to call it the gala or the gala? We were talking about this the other day.
I personally have always heard it called gala. I have never heard it called gala, but there's a few people in the community who told us that it's pronounced gala. I don't know, so people down in the comments, let us know. Comment number 1 if it's gala, number 2 if it's gala. But anyways, I think gala, whatever you want to call it.
I'm going to say gala. I'm from California, so our dialect is a little different from the Midwest. So I'm going to go with gala. I had this idea. I actually wanted to get it done in November, but I'm a dreamer and I think big. And so I have a team around me that set me down and said, hey, let's do it legit. Let's run this gala in January. We chose January 31st at the Sullivan. And it's basically just a time to get everybody that's been involved together. We're not doing a high ticket price. We're not trying to make a fortune off it. We really want to get everybody in one room, highlight what's been going on for the last 2 years, talk about the exciting opportunities like the scholarship fund, um, a few other things we can't talk about yet, but even highlighting people that have been part of CKU or Salina soccer before it was even a thing. I mean, we had Salina Soccer Club before I got here was like the heyday when Dabini and Gabe Romo were running that, and so we're kind of stealing the blueprint from them. Um, but just getting back to that and bringing those people in, hoping that they can be highlighted as well. I mean, players that have came through Salina. We talk a lot about Ethan Bandre, AD Franch, even coaches though that were here and left a big impact. Just to name a few, again, we go back to Mike Dabini, Gabe Romo, Cat Benton, Mike Padilla was a big part of that 2015 state team. He was their coach through Salina Soccer Club. So we just want to highlight all that, the success that we've had with the UPSL, the 22 teams that we have with CKU. I'm just highlighting some of them because honestly, it's just gotten so big that we haven't had a chance to really highlight everything that's going on. So we want to get everybody in one room, talk about that, have an auction. We have some pretty cool things that we're gonna auction off, and it's a World Cup year, so we thought, you know what, that's gonna be our focus. It's a World Cup year. Let's keep this thing rolling. So yeah, we'd invite everybody to come out because I've been surprised by the things that we're gonna auction off, and I think there'll be some good ones. I know one huge one that I'm proud about that we can say already. We're gonna auction off a trip to my hometown up in the mountains. So, if you guys like taking trips, there's a cabin available. You can fit 8 people comfortably. It'll be 4 nights, 5 days in the mountains. You choose either the summer or the winter, and yeah, that's just one example of things we're auctioning off. Some jerseys, some.
So where are you from? I know we keep saying California, but let's give these people a real idea of what they can win.
Okay, so California is a huge state, right? So I grew up in the Eastern Sierras in the mountains, spent most of my life there, moved down south when I was 17, spent a few years there. But Mammoth Lakes is this little gem, and it's kind of like Salina in the sense that it's smaller, and it's just starting to blow up. So once everybody found out about Mammoth, it's a ski resort town, so people go in the winters, especially to ski and snowboard. And then in the summers, a ton of people go just to go hiking and just be with Mother Nature. And so I'm grateful to have grown up there. And that's why I connect so well with the kids in Salina because, I grew up in a smaller town. We had to compete in the southern section. So we were playing schools from LA, Riverside, San Bernardino, all over. I got to a CIF final. We played a team from freaking Santa Barbara, and they were amazing. So I connect well, and that was one of the things that I wanted to change that mentality here in Salina. Like, no, not just because we're a smaller town, we're going to say we can't do certain things. We're going to compete with everybody. And as you know, constantly competing with clubs from Wichita, KC, Oklahoma does things really well too. So competing with everybody from around here, and I think we're getting to a place where we can really say that we're competing.
No, and I'm gonna piggyback back to talking about the auction items, and I want to give a quick shout out to the entire team that is working around the clock to make sure that we can secure auction items for this gala to help raise those funds. So I just wanted to give them a quick shout out. But then going back to what you said about being competitive, I think we're there. A prime example is this last weekend, Coach Sergio and I took a team of 17 boys. I took majority from Salinas, some South kids, Central kids, and then some Hayes, and then McPherson, and we went 3-0. And we took down
College Showcase, right?
College Showcase. Yep, we took down Union KCs. We took down a KC Athletics, and they were all comfortable comfortable games. There was no game that Sergio and I sat there and we were a little worried. Results were, I think, 4-1 in the morning, 3-0 in the second game, and then 5-1 in the third game. We had college coaches coming to us and just really telling us that they did not know that there was this much talent in Salina, Kansas. And so it's just reflecting off what you're saying is that we have talent here and we are able to compete with those bigger cities and really put Salina back on the map. Yeah. You talk about the heydays of Salina Soccer Club. I think within the next 5-10 years, I think Salina could be the powerhouse that it used to be. And we could go to tournaments and people will walk around and say, oh, that's a Salina team and that's a good team. And people should be afraid to play Salina teams.
Yeah, and like we've talked about, so with the high school boys, we've had a lot from Hayes, McPherson, and Hutch. It'd be great to really expand to the Central Kansas region and consistently have players from there. And on my son's U18, we have kids from Concordia come and play with us now, and they just love the idea of Central Kansas United. And I'm not trying to bag on anybody else, but we really do try to involve everybody. I mean, we don't just work on the club level. I mean, from the ground up, right? We have 7 teams in pre-K that we consistently work with. And first and second grade, you see how many teams we have there. And it's great because if they want to stay in rec, they can, because we're going to help them out there. But if they want the chance to really play competitive ball, there's a lot of teams now. And so that's great. We just talk about the opportunities and going back to your high school boys, we've been working with them for years. And so it's great to see that, players like Rylan, who else is with you?
Josh, Lucas. I mean,
the Luck twins from Hayes have been with us for a while. Brecken. So if we can get
Poncho.
we can get all of them to a good college, I think we can say, yeah, we're doing things well. So it's not just when you play for our club, it's what are you doing after, and we're going to support you after.
And I think the proof is in the pudding. Look at Seth Flores.
Great example.
Seth Flores came to us. He killed it his freshman year at Cato. And then came back, played with us in the summer, continued that momentum, became a captain of the varsity team, and led that offense with Noel and just killed it. And so the proof is in the pudding. And we have done a lot for the high school boys to create those avenues, and I think they're about to start enjoying the fruits of that labor, because I don't see us slowing down. And I think
we talked about how many, probably 8 to 10 of them are going to be with the UPSL team, and I think 5 to 6 of them are going to be playing consistently. Rigo was a great example last year. He's been with us on and off because he gets enticed by the big clubs, which is it's going to be normal for our kids. But when he plays with our UPSL team, he was amazing. So it's just providing that same opportunity for Lucas, for Juancho. Joshua is one I'm really excited about. He's been looking great, man. And so I want to help him out a lot too, and keep him with the UPSL team and see what he does after.
Yeah. Well, I want to transition back into the gala, right? I know we got a little sidetracked there, but we have to give the flowers where the flowers need to be.
Yeah.
And going back to the gala, what should people expect? How should I dress? Am I like full suit and tie, or sweats?
We said semi-formal.
Semi-formal.
Semi-formal, because if you want to be a little more comfortable, that's fine. But we do want it to feel like it's an important event in town. And I don't feel like we're going to compete with the other galas and stuff that happen, because it's going to be unique. I mean, soccer, as you know, is completely different. It's an international thing, and with the World Cup this year, it's going to be the perfect example. I mean, we have guys in the community from Zimbabwe, Colombia, Argentina, you name it. I mean, we have players from all over that have left a mark in Salina too. And so this is going to be unique, and hopefully we can get some of those people tied in. And I know they'll be supporting us from afar. And there is a chance too, if you can't make that night, we'll be sending out links to see if you want to support CKU, because we've gotten a lot of love, man, from everywhere. I have a friend in Argentina, Franco Rivas, who I talk to consistently, and he's always like, "Man, you guys are doing something so great." And he had actually Ryan and Lucas, and then when they were 6, 7 years old, so he likes to see the fruits of our labor too, and yeah, I think you can expect just a fun night. You get a free dinner. Shout out to Candiles again, one of our biggest supporters. They'll be providing some good Mexican food that night. Um, 2 drinks. So we want the kids to stay at home for this one, but I'm sure the parents are going to relay a lot of the messages uh, that are sent out that night. We're just gonna, I think that night we officially are gonna decide who the mascot is, or we're gonna see who won. I think I know who's ahead for sure, but um, they could keep voting on that, because that night hopefully we announce that. We're gonna announce, or just highlight who's been a great team. We talked about who's been volunteering a ton with us, because there's a lot of the college guys who spent countless hours volunteering, and some of them are taking coaching up themselves now, which is great, and that's what we wanted to see. So, yeah, you should expect to see just a lot of things highlighting soccer in the area, not just Salina, because like I said, we've grown, man. We're really all over the Central Kansas region, and yeah, I hope all our coaches are there, because they've all been doing great. The parents, we have some amazing parents too that are with us 100%. They love what we're doing. I mean, I love the support, so can't complain. Just that night will be fun, and I know we'll have fun.
Mm-hmm. And how do I get a ticket?
They're online. We have a link, and we'll be reminding you guys that we're gonna bother you until we get to our goal. The Sullivan fits how many?
I believe we have about 120 tickets available.
120, so we'll be right in the center of downtown. So I think there's no better venue really to do this event. We'll be right in the heart of downtown Salina, and yeah, like I said, 2 drinks. If you want more after, there's an opportunity for that as well. Not free food, but it comes with the ticket. I don't think the ticket prices are too high. We wanted it to be for really anybody that wants to come out and enjoy a night with us. So yeah, like a couple of jerseys that you can take home, some gift baskets for kids that are pretty great to keep up with their development.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, join us. We can't say too much because we want to leave some surprises out there, but
surprises are good.
There's going to be some big announcements that night too, and
keep
this thing rolling.
Yeah, I think the momentum that we got now is the time to continue to roll this. The other day, you and I were just sitting there and we're talking about our wins, right? But not only were we talking about our wins, but we're talking about our losses. Mm-hmm. And there was a few that we had this year. A couple of things that just didn't go our way. Couple ideas that we just couldn't execute in time. But then we look at stuff like the gala, and we look at stuff as the fall kickoff and the chili feed at the end of the season. And it just reminds me that we have to take the little wins and really continue those to make the big one. And the big one is still getting that barrier broken for all kids. And we've said this continuously, is we don't do this for the money. Mm-hmm. Not once or never ever will we be rich because we took CKU serious. I think doing this gala is exactly what we want. It's to open up those opportunities for those kids. And so it means the world to me that we have a strong group here in Salina that cares about this mission as much as we do. Like I said, people, there's countless minds that have their hand in this pot, and they're just continuously working for this. And so, just super grateful for that. But Juan, there's one question that I asked you last year, and I've been thinking about it recently. Is, are you our center back next year?
No, I think I'm officially retired.
No.
I love. I'll tell you what, I can't get away from competition though. I love that little 18-year-olds will talk smack about me still, and I get under people's skin because that's my game. But I think
it's not just 18-year-olds, Juan. It's everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. At our
people made podcasts about it.
at our, even I have this shirt. I'm saving it for a very special day.
Which shirt?
It's the IB Juan Maldonado shirt because for some reason, whenever we do something, you always win. And, foot golf, the darts, whatever it is, you always win. And I don't get it. Because, like foot golf, for example, you showed up, you didn't even know what a par 3 was. And you won. You broke even. And so, very disappointed, that I have yet to hand this shirt out. But still, that competitiveness that you talk about that you're going to miss, we're going to miss that on the field. And if this is truly your retirement, I respect it, but I would hope that you keep your mind open.
I'll keep it open. That's one of the cool things about the UPSL is in California, especially, you see like coaches from Long Beach City. They were playing with that Chirac UFC team with a couple people we know, and they're coaches at like Long Beach City College and Cal State San Bernardino, and they'll hop in if they need to. But I really, really want to give opportunity to some other people. Last year, unfortunately, we had a bunch of injuries. Some people couldn't play for us after all. So I was like, you know what? I'm always ready. Hopped in. We had a decent season. But if I'm being honest with you, I'd love to see Charlie getting some minutes. We talked about Damon McDonald, who used to play for us and then went over to, I think it's Surf now. But we've been talking to him and we're like, man, if you really want to compete with older guys that are already in college and going flying and play with us in the summer. And so I really want to see guys like that. There's some college guys I've talked to about staying back and helping us out as well. But we never know because injuries happen. I know I'm going to be on the coaching staff for sure because I really do think I can translate that winner mentality. I'm a sore loser. Even at home, my wife and kids know I cannot lose in anything because I'm butthurt. And I used to hate myself for it, right? Until like you tell me now, I don't like losing in anything. Even at work, I try my best because I don't want to be just another number, another person. This game is about wins. And so if I can translate that to my players, I think they know, even as a coach, I get in my feelings if we lose and I try my best to not be upset, but it's part of it. And so if I can translate that to my players, I think that'll be huge. And going back to me being from a small town, I think that's the mentality I switched in a lot of our kids. It was, well, they're from Wichita and KC and they have all these guys. I was like, do you guys know who Ethan Pandre is and why he works so hard? It's because he's from a smaller town. Do you know AD French, a World Cup winner? Do you know why she works so hard? And so it's just switching that mentality. It doesn't matter where you're from, man. Like this year at Kansas Western, I was really impressed with this kid from Alaska. Like, who's ever played college out of Alaska? And he was great, man. Nobody could beat him in the air, and so that's one of those qualities that I like in defenders. So it's just those things, like those stories to me are much bigger than guys that grew up with all the resources in the world and made it. No, I really like those stories of people with almost nothing, making it and playing in college and succeeding. And so I think that mentality has switched, and so our kids compete. South High School, unfortunately, they did not win state, but for the last 3 or 4 years, a lot of the guys that play for our club, South they're a force now. They're a force to be reckoned with. I think it'll be that way for the next 4 to 5 years. There's a talented group of freshmen coming up again. So, yeah, man, I hate losing. That's a long story short. I hate losing, and I hope everybody here does too. Even in futsal, we had our first game, and luckily we won, but it's a heated game all the time.
It was pulling away from us at the end.
Man, we got too comfortable.
We did. Well, Juan, just reflecting off that, whatever you decide, I know that this organization needs leadership, and we need it yesterday. So I respect whatever you do, and we know that the community supports this entire team, and hearing it from community members the other day on how successful our UPSL team has been, and hearing that they want us to continue to grow meant a lot. So just so you kind of know that the people got your back. So
we'll see, because we're starting to recruit. Tryouts for the UPSL team will be soon. Actually, it's right around the corner. Luckily, we're not like the other teams that, and again, I'm not trying to talk trash again to people's kids, but I saw teams just
talk your smack,
just focusing for those 2-3 months, and that's it. We're working year round. This is not just the UPSL team. I hope people know that this is a huge organization.
I hope they bring us back up in their podcast. I love living rent free in other people's head.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We gotta compete to be the best organization, the best teams, best UPSL team. Shoot, in the future, the best women WPSL team, hopefully. Indoor teams. I mean, it's gonna grow. I think we have some exciting things coming.
There's a roadmap, and the conversation like we had not a couple of days ago, was again going back to our wins and losses, things that we want to do, and we had to kind of pump the brakes. But our roadmap is pretty crystal clear. We have goals, and we're going to accomplish them. I mean, a comment you made was, we had the same conversation 2 years ago, 3 years ago with the UPSL, and we just pumped the brakes a little bit, reorganized, and boom, now we're a successful organization. I think if we continue this trend and continue to work hard, everything you just said, WPSL, indoor team, I think Salina has not only the perfect geographic location for this, but I think it has the ultimate setup for it. I mean, we're off I-70, we're off I-135. We have what it takes to be successful. And
we're
we
in
just
the
really
center
have
of
to,
the U.S.
Yeah, we just have to exploit that. And I think we have the right plans, and that's stuff that we'll talk about at the gala. Like, we have to talk about, what does this look like in 10 years? Because I'm not content with just Parks and Rec and a few club competitive teams until we hit our goals and we really max out the potential here. So
yeah, because going back off or piggybacking off that, people that support us, I don't think it's just a donation. I really think it's an investment into the youth, especially. We were talking to an investor the other day, and how does this support the youth? I mean, there's a ton of guys in our program that are known by all of the youth players in town, because we try to bring them in, working the free academy nights all the time, getting a bunch of them to coach. I mean, I was happy to see Luke coaching the young kids now, because he's been with us for a long time. Seth is coaching now, Noel, and I mean, it's valuable to have guys like that really stepping up, and I'm not just here for the UPSL team, like really proving that they're here for the community, and they're invested in these kids, because they see what I saw when I got here, and there's just.
And I don't see anybody else doing that. No. I don't. And again, I know I was throwing shots earlier, but this is not a shot at anybody. But I don't see any other program doing a free academy night, doing things for the community, involving the UPSL players outside of just basic things.
Yeah. I'll give one shout out, because I really like Dodge. Dodge City is half the size of Salina.
And they're very successful. Did you just see their striker?
Yeah, he signed to Creighton.
Yeah,
so once we get our first guy like that, because I know they've invested in Angel for a long time. I was playing with Dodge a while back, and so when they were first starting the UPSL team, and those kids were already there. So, I mean, once we have our first going, because there's a lot playing in the college level, and there's nothing wrong with playing NAIA, because I was in the NAIA, but just going straight to D1 or D2, and it's on the horizon, because some talented players right now.
And give the shout out, man. I've been waiting for you to say it. Where is Hera? Come on, man. We're talking about Angel being successful.
We're waiting on visas to get approved, but Hera's a fan favorite, and he was on trial in Spain and made it onto a third division team. So we'll hear from him at the gala because he'll talk a little bit about his experience. But yeah, he's in Spain.
But it's an equivalence. Yeah, I know D1 and D3 in Spain. I see them hand to hand. Other people may not, but professional in Division I soccer in America, I see it hand in hand.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think, when you're talking about like, oh, we need to get our guys, it's going to come. It has come. And we are just showing kids that it's possible. And again, shout out to Dodge City. They've been nothing but respectful, great opponents. And I do agree with you. I like what they do.
Yeah, because the Toros Academy is pretty big too.
The Toros Academy has been, I see them at striker, and they have the blueprint, and that's honestly, when we started this, we based it off of them.
Yeah.
We had conversations with them, and they were very respectful. And again, I give them their shout outs, and so, but again, I still don't see other teams doing this.
Yeah.
I don't see Sporting doing this. I don't see Inter doing this. I don't see any of those teams doing this. And that's what I think separates us, is the UPSL is just a chapter in the CKU book, because we have multiple chapters. And that's what I'm going to touch base on right now, is CKU is a 3-pronged division organization. We have the youth side, and that's where we invest heavy on young athlete scholarships for Parks and Rec competitive players, competitive teams, whatever it is to help athletes excel in the soccer world. The second prong is the UPSL. Mm-hmm. The UPSL is what we're opening up for our older athletes to have an outlet for them to be successful outside of club soccer, for them to now compete in the U.S. soccer pyramid and potentially earn their way onto a D1, a USL2, a USL1 team, or even an MLS Next team. Playing teams like Sporting really does help that. And so then that's what that prong does. And then we have the final one, and it's the coaches' initiative, right? One of our biggest mission is accessibility, but not only for the players, but to the coaches. We have coaches who come to us that are either former players and really want to excel, but don't know where to go. And that's where this specific part of CKU invests in them. We're fortunate enough to send 2 coaches to the National Coaching Convention this year. Yeah. That's been a mission that I've been working on, that I've been bringing. We need to send people, and now that we can raise money to send coaches to that, next year's in Kansas City, so hopefully we can send more than 2 coaches. Yeah. And not only that, but when a new coach comes on board, what's the biggest thing that a coach always endures when they take on coaching for the first year? Is the financial burden of like, oh, I gotta buy cones, I gotta buy pennies, I gotta buy balls, I gotta buy all these different things. And that's what I want this specific section of CKU to be able to provide. That be like, hey, here's a small ball bag, here's a set of 50 cones, here's 10 pennies. You're get started. Like,
well, yeah, even providing them with an extra chunk of change, because it's a huge investment. It's hard to keep good coaches.
It is.
It's hard to produce coaches in general.
And it was like the old Salina soccer method was they would take their more invested coaches, pull them off to the side, give them a little bit more competitive teams, but that's when we started paying them. Mm-hmm. And that's what we want with this. We want to be able to provide to a college coach that is taking this serious, like Luke, who is taking the coaching side of this serious. And so
pre-K stuff. If we can get Seth heavily involved. I know he'd take on the team and do great during his off season. And this is nothing against parent coaches, but I do think it's valuable to have a college guy for 2 to 4 years take on a team. We go back to the heyday. That's exactly what they did. So my host dad Jack was heavily involved with Salina Soccer Club, and when I picked his brain, he said that they would choose like the best Kansas Wesleyan players and say, hey, if you want to coach, we'll provide this, this, and that. And I mean, there's a bunch of them. I know like a Francisco guy that's coaching Pasadena College, Mike Devine and Gabe Rome. I mean, Gabe Rome was at Michigan State. They're in the Sweet 16 for the NCAA Division One. Mike Devine's back in UCR, so it's just that's guys that came from this. Mike Padilla has a big ECNL team, so it's
Michigan State took second in the nation.
Yeah.
So, I get it, and that's what I want that initiative to be able to again be able to provide that quality training to not just our athletes but our coaches. And I want our coaches to understand that we are here to support them in their financial needs, because I know it's a good year when we can stay out of the red and stay in the clear, right? And I don't care about being in the green. I just don't want to be in the red. And some years we are in the red, and some years we're not. And so that's big. And if we can have an initiative like this where no coach ever has to decide that, that's what we're working towards. And so that's really what the gala is highlighting, is the three-headed beast that we have created with this thing, and just continuing that momentum. So
that's the best way to describe it. I mean, those are our three main things we like to focus on. So yeah, we'll highlight a bunch of that, and again, going back to like future projects, one of the recent goals we've set is really helping out with women's soccer, because it's surprising to me that we don't have more women athletes coming out, especially with AD French being from Salina. So that's one of the big goals we've set. I think our girls get a little tired of just playing against guys the whole time. So we're trying to build good club teams so they can go out to Wichita and play there and compete. Because for far too long, our girls have had to travel an hour to and from practices to really be on good club teams, and we want to eliminate that barrier for parents, because not only do they have to pay these heavy fines for clubs, they have to travel an hour 3 times a week just for practices. So if we have the facilities here, if we have the coaches here, I don't think they'll have to travel anymore, and I think parents will appreciate that a ton.
And I think we're going to get there. And I know that, I know it should have been done yesterday, but we're working on it. And it doesn't sit easy with me how any of it's been played out, and I promise everybody watching that we are working hard for that, and it will happen. That's part of our roadmap, and we're going to get it. So
sure.
All right, Juan. Well, thank you for sitting with me and chatting it up. I'll leave a link to the tickets for the gala in our description. Like Juan said, your Facebook feed, your Instagram feed, all that will be bombarded with how to buy tickets, how to help us out. Thank you guys so much for the support that you gave us in season 1. Enough support for me to come back for season 2. I have some pretty cool guests that I've been lining up for season 2.
Can you give a preview of the next one I want to see?
You go ahead.
Alright, so again, soccer's not highlighted nearly enough. So one of the things that I first saw when I got to Salina, I got here in 2015, that was the year that's 10 years ago. That was the state championship year for Salina South.
It happened this month.
This month. So your next guests, I think, will be some players from there.
That is exactly who my next guest is. I have a few players lined up to come talk about that amazing moment that came to Salina 10 years ago. And so we're going to highlight them and highlight their work. And I also want to talk, I have some players that just won regionals 3 times in a row lined up. So
those guys should also be on here. I mean, who better to talk about the opportunities that we are providing than the players themselves? Because we have players from that state team still playing with us. Jose Escobedo is a huge one. He was the one that scored that game-winning goal against St. Thomas Aquinas.
Still gives me chills.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen that goal, just look up Salina South 2015 Class 5A State Championship. It's the first video that pops up. You gotta kind of watch the whole thing, but it's the last like 30 seconds that just gives me the chills, because I was sitting in that stands and I remember when that happened, and the crowd went wild, the benches cleared, because in case of soccer, in overtime, it's golden goal.
Yeah.
And so when that goal was scored, it was game. And so it was pretty cool to watch that game end there. I couldn't have wrote that story better.
Yeah,
Nobody
and
could
I just
have.
think of like those guys truly did not have a lot of resources. Even
Reflecting
at the
back,
high school level. I mean, we know, and it's just a thing with soccer. We're not the most popular sport in the country, so it's always overshadowed by like football, basketball, and baseball. But I hope these guys really tell you some of the stories that I've heard about the experience, because they had to fight a lot.
Well, and Ethan Bondre gave us a little insight about that
Yeah, he
year,
did
and
talk about that.
it was not the best academic year. I will tell you that. But those guys fought adversity like no one else, and so
They beat up St. Thomas Aquinas at the 5A level as a powerhouse, and they have all of Kansas City to choose from. So it's it's, as soon as I met guys from there, honestly didn't like some of them, and they might tell you a story or two, because we did not like each other because we were the same. We hated losing. So even if we were playing at Sunset or playing some indoor team, me and some of the guys there would bump heads. But I mean, once we learned, like, man, if we team up, we're gonna be unstoppable. We did, and played in a lot of tournaments all over the country with some of those guys after we met. And so I hope some of those stories come up too, because they're great, man. They'll be in my memory forever. Because again, Boo Boo was a guy I didn't like at first. We'd bump heads because it was just, we'd go to Sunset of all play. We didn't have nowhere to play, so I like street ball, so I'd go play street ball with them. And I hated losing. He hated losing, so we bumped heads a few times. Leaving some details out, but we really bumped heads, got in each other's faces. So and then one of my favorite stories with him is then we played on this team invited us to play in this tournament in Chicago, so they paid for our travel expenses. Me and him drove out there, 9 hours together, really got to know each other. We're like, man, we grew up the same in different areas in the country. And so it was really great to get to meet him, and we're still great friends to this day. So I really like all the guys from that team. I mean, another great story, Ponce they call him, his family's from the same rancho in Mexico as my family. And so we've gotten to talk about that. And the Palacios, I mean, all his brothers I've got to coach. I got to play with David. Esteban, even being competing in goal with Ethan Bandry. I mean, that's something we've talked about a lot, and how he never put his head down. He just kept working because he's a dog. And so meeting all those guys and getting to know them was great.
Yeah. Well, Juan, thank you again. And thank you guys. I'll see you guys next week for the second episode of season 2 of Groundworks.
And we'll see you at the gala, January 31st.
At Sullivan.
6 p.m. Tickets online. Thank you.